I really want to quickly say that I'm proud of you for clicking on this video, for taking the time to listen. You could have just reacted and shouted at the person that made you feel emotionally invalidated. You could have just gone into pure victim mode and thought, poor me? Why is this happening? This is so unfair. But instead, you've looked for a path forward, a path that gives you control and doesn't rely on other people showing up for you. You've showed up for yourself today, and that's amazing. Are you more invested in helping your boyfriend, your partner, than he is in helping himself? You know, you doing that worrying on his behalf takes away the work that he needs to do. He needs to be the one that's figuring out what his insecurities are, what he needs to work on, what he needs to heal. It needs to come from him. You can totally be there and support him and be the kind person that you are and offer your warm, wise words. But don't worry on his behalf. He needs to acknowledge that he's got a problem to worry about in the first place. If you're doing the worrying for him, he doesn't even need to get to that place where he realises that something needs to change because he's relying on you doing that all for him. He needs to be conscious that there are things to work on in the first place. He needs to develop this self-awareness. He needs to step up, not only for his own relationships to thrive, but also for himself, for his own quality of life. He needs to connect with himself. He needs to go to therapy. He needs to listen to the Man Enough podcast. Strongly recommend, by the way. Whoever you are, man, woman, non-binary person, beautiful podcast. Of course, you need to communicate with him and you need to let him know what you need and what's going to make you feel safe in the relationship. And you need to set your boundaries and be really clear. People aren't mind readers. We should never expect people to just know if we haven't already vocalized what we want from someone. But once you've vocalized what you need, that is enough. Leave it there. You don't need to repeat yourself. If you find yourself saying the same things over and over again, getting really tired and drained from repeating, oh, please just validate my emotions, stop. Stop repeating yourself. Once is enough. If you find yourself telling him the same things over and over again, he knows. I don't want you to do more work for him than he's doing for himself. We're all in charge of our own healing journey, our own personal growth, our own mental health. There's only so much other people can do. So, I'm going to repeat it again. Don't do more for someone than they are doing for themselves. Please take that step back, prioritize yourself and keeping your energy levels high, and putting your energy into things that are going to be reciprocal, things that are going to equally make you feel good. If putting all this effort into showing someone how to love you doesn't end up in them loving you the way you kind of want them to, then put your love into things that make you feel love back. Your passion projects, exercising, your friendships. If you've made it really clear to your partner, your boyfriend, the guy that you're dating, that you crave emotional validation and that is something that he could work on to make you feel safer in your connection, and he's not giving you that, then go and emotionally validate yourself. Stop waiting for him to give you what you desperately need to feel safe, to feel calm, to feel happy. I know it might feel like we have control over the situation if we say, look, this is how you love me. These are the clear steps. This is what you need to do to make me feel good, to make me feel validated. I know that might feel like that's our way of kind of controlling the situation and moving forward, but that will only work out if the other person decides to listen to you. Your plan will only work if the other person is willing to cooperate. I want you to make a plan for yourself, to help yourself feel good in this existence, to help you feel safe no matter what anyone else is doing. I want you to be able to emotionally cradle yourself. I just really quickly want to say, you might be feeling really invalidated right now. You might be feeling, oh my God, all these emotions and feelings. I just want to cry and I just want to be heard and I just feel weird. I hear you and I see you and I get what it's like to not be validated. I want you to know that I'm understanding you through the screen. It's painful, but your feelings are your feelings. They are truth. We can't argue with feelings, they just come up. Now, I know I've kind of been assuming that this person who's invalidating your feelings is a man, and I'm doing that because men aren't really expected to be self-aware, to be curious about their emotions and other people's emotions. They're not really expected to be vulnerable. They're not really expected to do the work, the internal emotional work. And this often means that women who date men end up becoming their therapists rather than their equal partners. I just want to make it really clear that anyone who is dating anyone is welcome on this channel, in this corner of the internet. Non-binary individuals, trans individuals, the gay community, everyone is welcome here. And I love and support you all, no matter how you identify. Okay, so my step-by-step guide to emotionally validate yourself. So you've been in an argument, maybe a conversation that's left you feeling invalidated emotionally. I want you to take yourself off to a safe space. That might be your bedroom, that might be the bathroom, that might be a nature spot. Wherever you feel like you can hold space for yourself and reflect, go there. Find that space where you can be on your own. I don't want you to distract yourself by going on your phone and scrolling, or by, thinking about how angry you are at the person and how they messed up. I don't want you to plan ways you could get back at them and revenge, and ways that you can distance yourself from them. I just want you to focus on how you're feeling in this moment. I want you to totally forget your future with this person, your past with this person. I just want you to focus on how you're feeling right now. So, connect with yourself for a moment. Put your hands here and start doing some deep, slow breathing. Do this very gradually. I don't want you to be out of breath or get lightheaded. I want you to inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth, and purse your lips like this, like you're sipping from a straw. I promise you that method of breathing really calms the body and makes you feel quite centered. Okay, now once you've used your breath to kind of connect back into your body, into your reality, into your feelings, I want you to have an internal conversation with yourself. I want you to ponder these questions. What triggered this emotion that you're feeling right now? Where do you feel this emotion right now in your body? Is it showing up anywhere in particular? Are you feeling tense anywhere? If you are feeling fearful, you might be feeling it in the throat. That tends to be where fear kind of shows up in our body. I want you to just describe to yourself now, in your safe place, in your head, gently, how you're feeling in your body, how these emotions are showing up. Now, I realise when we're taking time to reflect, our inner demons can get quite loud. That inner chatter can become quite nasty and quite labelly. You're too sensitive, you're too emotional, oh my god, you're a drama queen, stop being so selfish. These labels are interpretations, they're not truth. I want you to focus on the truth, on the positive facts. So a positive fact might be, I communicated vulnerably, or I'm willing to learn and change in order to benefit this relationship, this connection, or I'm coming from a place of love for myself and the relationship. These are positive facts that will help us remember actually how well we conducted ourselves and how much we're trying. Obviously, I want you to be truthful. If you're saying these positive facts that actually you don't fully believe in, then you're going to start invalidating yourself and making yourself feel bad. So be genuine, be honest with these positive facts. How are you showing up in this positive way? What are you doing that you're proud of? Do you know what? The fact that you're even watching this video and you're willing to reflect and think about this and take your time to understand yourself and how to move forward shows massive strength, and I'm really proud of you. I know that these things are really difficult, especially when someone else is involved. It can make us feel so powerless, but you are powerful. You are powerful. You are seeking answers, and that is amazing. Okay, the next thing I want you to do, I want you to quickly remind yourself that these are feelings that are entering your body. They aren't you. They aren't your permanent reality. You are feeling this feeling. You are not the feeling. You're experiencing it. You're not going to be permanently sad. You're not going to be permanently panicky. You're not going to be permanently fearful. those feelings are going to blow away like a cloud in the sky. So allow yourself to observe the feelings, allow that distance, and hopefully you will panic a bit less about feeling these negative things. It never feels good to feel anxious or to feel upset. But once we realise that this is just a feeling that we're experiencing momentarily, not a permanent state of being, then we can actually go, okay, I can get out of this. Okay, the next thing I want you to do is give yourself childhood context. We've all experienced different things as kids. We've all acquired different insecurities, maybe different traumas, maybe different triggers because of the childhood that we experienced. And it's really important to just be aware and to remind ourselves of why certain things might trigger a response in us that's quite painful and quite profound. If as a child you frequently felt misunderstood or not cared for, I want you to affirm to yourself, it's okay to be scared when you feel not cared for, because you experienced this as a child and that meant that you had to deal with difficult situations on your own. But are you on your own now? Or do you have books or people or friends that are going to support you? Have you learned about yourself and found ways to actually get help from outside resources? You're not on your own and you're not that child anymore. Another thing that I really want to share with you that my therapist is reminding me of all the time at the moment, and it's been a really powerful realization for me, that negative emotions are reality for us as humans. We're going to experience them. Being human doesn't mean existing in one feeling your whole life, like I'm continuously happy, or I'm just the miserable person, or I'm the sad person. I want you to remind yourself that feeling negative emotions is part of the human experience and it's so normal. You don't need to focus on getting rid of the negative emotions. You can focus actually on allowing them to exist and actually detaching from that kind of shame. I want you to tell yourself that actually feeling sad or upset or whatever, yes, it doesn't feel great, but it doesn't make us wrong. It doesn't mean that we need to kind of fix ourselves because we're damaged. It just makes us human. Humans experience negative emotions, and I know we live in a world where there are a lot of answers to our problems at the moment being thrown at us through mental health podcasts and YouTube channels, probably quite a lot like my own, that make us feel like everything is fixable. But the negative emotions are going to come up whether you meditate every morning and drink lots of water and do all the right things. We can't avoid feeling down, feeling upset. Those times are going to come up, and if we fight those feelings and if we judge ourselves for feeling those negative feelings, it's going to make it so much worse. So allow space and remind yourself that you're human and this is normal. It's normal to experience negative emotions. Okay, next I want you to get your laptop, your phone, or some pen and paper, and I want you to write down what you wanted to hear from the other person. What could they have said that would have made you feel emotionally validated? I want you to affirm yourself. If you don't know where to start, what to write down, I've got some questions and some prompts for you that will help. What is painful for you right now? What have you done well? What do you deserve? Have a go, write that down, write it as if you're literally saying it to yourself. Really allow yourself to pour out onto the page these kind of kind words and reaffirm yourself, and really imagine that you are, saying this to yourself as you write it, or maybe read it back and just let yourself soak in your own words, soak in your own kindness, soak in that emotional validation. The last thing I want you to do, and this is really important because I can imagine your body is feeling a little bit tense, maybe you're feeling a bit anxious, maybe your mind is going in circles and you can't stop thinking about how you're feeling and how the other person has hurt you. Now's the time, because you've self-reflected, You've told yourself some things that you need to hear. You've thought about, the wider context, your childhood. You've done the work. Now it's time that you just gift yourself some time to recalibrate. Do something that makes you feel calm. Maybe read a book, maybe knit, maybe listen to a podcast, maybe do some drawing, maybe have a bath and shave your legs. Do something that's going to make you relaxed, but also is going to keep you focused on something other than the painful experience you've gone through and the painful feelings you're dealing with. Allow yourself to just fully distance yourself now, and your body to just go, oh. Once you've done all of those things, you might be in a position where you want to go and communicate with the person that's invalidated you. Maybe you don't want to do that. Maybe you want to, get on with your day. Maybe you want to reach out to a friend and talk about the situation. Maybe you want to, reassess whether you want this person in your life. But I think it's great that you've taken the time to move through the feelings in a kind of healthy way, in a way that's also kind to yourself. I really want to quickly say that I'm proud of you for clicking on this video, for taking the time to listen. You could have just reacted and shouted at the person that made you feel emotionally invalidated. You could have just gone into pure victim mode and thought, poor me? Why is this happening? This is so unfair. But instead, you've looked for a path forward, a path that gives you control and doesn't rely on other people showing up for you. You've showed up for yourself today, and that's amazing. I'm sending a little virtual hug through the screen. And I also quickly want to say I have a self-love and decentering men program for women. So if you're interested in chatting to me over Zoom and receiving my resources, my email's in the description box. Pop me an email and we can have a little chat and get things going. I love you all.